to turn my tablet on so I can see chat. Because I have to use my phone. So, give myself a thumb up. I gotta share this out a little bit. So if you're chatting, I can't see you right away. Let's see. I hope everybody is doing good. My tablet's kind of slow. Let's see. I don't usually send out messages. Like, do people like that? Do people like being messaged when somebody is going live, like through Facebook or something? Alright, let me get back to my chat. So if you're here, I can't see you. Can't see you yet. Oh, and of course there's got to be one little fly. Let's see. My internet is awful. Ooh, I see everybody. Hello. Hello. I hope the quality is okay. I just care about the chat. I don't care about watching my video, but I don't know what the video's like for everybody else, so I'm sorry if it's lousy. We get some storms right now. And, yeah, it's pretty stormy here. I'm looking for my bulb pins. I guess I was unprepared. Oh, here they are. I have this thing. I'll put them in. Yeah, my internet is so hit or miss, like, for the quality, and it's storming out, so it's even worse. Like, I shouldn't even try and stream, but here I am. I'm a sucker for punishment. Alright. Move this stuff.
Download my Google and my YouTube.
Yeah, I will.
How much of a job is it?
It'll take me a few minutes.
Not, you can do it now?
Well, I'm streaming. But I could do it in a little bit.
Dad, you ready to leave?
I don't think you girls are going anywhere, girlfriend. Thanks, Dawn. My poor husband wants to go work on some equipment. He wants to go work on some heavy equipment that he bought, but he can't because the weather is so horrible. Alright, let's see if I could do this. I saw this recently at someone else's. I was looking at something that someone else had made, and I need pliers. I was looking at something that somebody else had made, and I was like, I want to make one of those little charming things with a bulb pin, because you could probably use them for a whole bunch of things, like paper clips and you name it. So yeah, I'm just so yeah, this is gold. I don't really care about what colors. I don't really care about what colors that things are, like matching up, because I don't think I have any gold bulb pins, but this one's like a rustic gold. So it's just a tiny little bit, you know, just a tiny little something with a few beads, not a lot, just a few, right? I still have room. I'm going to try doing some caps on those. I really like the look of end caps, especially on a glass bead. And I haven't had my bead stuff out for a long time, so this will be fun. I hope everybody is doing good. I hope everybody is staying dry. If you're in the south and you're putting up with stormy weather, it's supposed to rain here literally all week long. I think I'm gonna zoom in. Can I zoom in? Can I do that? Ooh, I can zoom. Let's see. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. You might be able to see what I'm doing a little bit better. But yeah, it is supposed to rain here for the next like foreseeable future on the forecast, like on the Weather Channel app. It pretty much just says you're gonna be wet. You're gonna grow some moss over the next 7 days, 10 days, however far out they go, 10 to 12 days. I need my little rounder thingy. This. Ooh, these are stiff. I'm gonna have to oil those down. I like these tools that are like all in one. They got a cutter. Sometimes the cutters work. They have a cutter and they have like a gripper part and they have a rounding part. These ones have like a serrated thing. I love those. I'd use those for a lot. I don't know why I'm shaky today. I mean, I do know why. I'm coming down with something. Cold. Head cold. I am definitely no beadsmith, but like I like this little tiny embellishment thingy. So we can get on a roll with this stuff. I just took a bunch of beads. Like I got two huge fishing tackle boxes. So I just took a bunch out and then some of my separate stuff. Like this is the jar of beads that I haven't put away yet. I mean, there's a lot more than that. Hey, Kim. There's a lot more beads than this, but that's one jar. I bought this tool. It is a bead looper. So I left the link for it down below because I just started playing with it. And I gotta tell you, I am impressed. I will show you how it works. So I take my wire, and this is thin. I think you could do it with thicker wire, which I brought over in case it didn't work with the thin stuff. Yes, Kim, I love this thing. So I bought this a while back. So you take some, and there's two claws right here, and you put it between the claws, and there's a peg up at the top. And what it's going to do is it's going to loop this around the peg so that, see if I can do this like one-handed here, so that it creates a loop. And it's like a perfect loop because I cannot loop. And then it has a cutter you can put it in this hole, or you could put it like earlier. I just stuck it right in here, and it will cut. So it also cuts. Oh, that time it didn't go. But it will. It'll cut, I promise. I just didn't do it right. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this thing. So I brought some eye pins over too, just in case I couldn't figure this thing out. But you really can't screw this up. You really cannot screw this up. So it's hard when it's like the wire is kind of coiled. So put it in between these two claws and up and around. Yeah, and then I just put it in this way to cut it, but you could, like, you know. Oh, I guess I could put it in through there too, and it won't bother, it won't try and loop it. Just cut it. So I'm making them kind of short. All right, Kim. I hope you're having something good. I had peanut butter and jelly, but it was peanut butter and jelly on my homemade bread, so that was worth it. So yeah, I'm just going to stick it in between here. That kind of works. That works. And it cuts nice too. Yeah, Dawn, I got the link down below. It's on sale. I think I bought it on sale. I think I paid $30 for it. But I can't, like, I have tried, all right? I have tried with these things to loop, and I just can't. Like, I love wire wrapping. I think that it's awesome. I just can't do it. I just can't. I've tried. Like, I'm gonna have to like have somebody hold my hands and show me how to do it, because I'd love to learn how to wire wrap. But yeah, and then I just cut it off. Oh yeah. I guess you could take it in. Oh, you know what you could do? Put it in through the hole, right? Maybe, and then maybe it'll cut it too. If I do this. Yeah, it's gonna cut it like too soon. But I could just go like this and cut it. Ooh, and then it'll wrap it at the end. See what it did there? See, so this is like experimental. This is the 2 1/4, 2.25, and it's like the perfect size loop for what I need. I kind of screwed up there, so it is like the perfect, you know, perfect loopage, man. I love this thing though. It is just, this is cool. This is my first time really playing with it, so this is nice. So it'll cut it and wrap it at the same time. That's cool. Cut, wrap. And then I just, if it didn't flatten out very well, I just flatten it a little. But yeah, this is awesome. And you know, because I hate buying eye pins. I don't know about you, but man, I just hate it. Because they're just so expensive for what they are. You know, they're just, I can't justify it. You know, you see all these people making their own eye pins and their own head pins, and you're like, well, why can't I do that? Well, now you can make eye pins. I saw somebody making head pins that they were like really cool. They came to a T at the bottom. I'm like, oh, I can never do that kind of crap. But all right, I got a few to start with. Put my wire and stuff up here. I love this thing though. This is awesome. Oh, and this is also another jar of mixed beads that I gotta go through. There's too many. Too many. Let's see. Because I had it bent a little bit, I gotta kind of force this on there. straighten that out. These are like really good pliers I got at Hobby Lobby. The rest of them, well, I have another pair of really good pliers that I got for my cinch. I got to go with my cinch bookbinder. And that is also very nice. But the rest of them are like junk I've probably had for 20 years. Like these ones I've had forever. These red ones. And I can't find another pair with the serrated. Not thin like this. I can find thick ones, but not thin. Not thin ones like that. This is like perfect. Perfect. Uh-oh, who's buzzing me? Oh, when a car goes by, my camera goes off. For my doorbell. Drives me bonkers because I don't know why it has to do that. Okay. Yeah, it is cool. This is my first time really getting to play with it because I haven't had my beads out since I got it. And like I said, it came up. It popped up on sale on Amazon a while back. And I mean, when I say a while back, I mean like Christmas time. So I'm like, ooh, you know, I gotta grab that. I gotta get that. So I did, and I just haven't had any beading. I just haven't been doing anything with the beads. But yeah, it makes your own, you know, it makes like a perfect eye, which is nice because I can't make a perfect eye. Make some green. I'm gonna be making a green journal. I have the perfect cover, and I have a bunch of stuff that I've been collecting because I like to try and use colors that I don't often use. So last year I made a yellow journal. That one was tricky for me to do, yellow. But the green one, I don't know, we'll see how the green one goes. Because I don't, you know, I don't usually do things in a theme of green, so we'll see. I'm kind of excited. Yeah, it's like just a nightmare. Plus, I'm just finishing up a project that I haven't cleaned up fully from yet, so I've got stuff scattered. Yeah, my workspace, I'm pretty disastrous too, I'm not gonna lie. My workspace is pretty rough all the time. But I did clean it a few months ago, so I've been really trying to keep it, you know, somewhat organized, but it's piling up again. So. Has anybody ordered any beads off of Temu yet? Because I used to get them off of AliExpress all the time. So I figured Temu would probably have them for pretty cheap too. Oh, I'm shaking today. Gotta stop shaking. But I've gotten some awesome beads off of AliExpress. You know, like nothing, they're not fancy. They're nothing, you know, I don't got any crystals or stones or anything, but just some clay and stuff like that. I just figured since everybody's doing the Temu hauls, beads are a good thing to get. Beads are a good thing to get from those China apps because you can get a lot for a pretty good price. Yeah, I have so many too, Kim. You know what my problem is I keep going after the broken jewelry lots, like locally. I had a woman, she was selling like a huge thing of broken jewelry at an estate sale. I bought it, and then, you know, of course, a couple years ago, I'm still working out of this. A couple years ago, I bought a box off of eBay. I won, and it was a flat rate box full of beads, which came to be like 21 pounds of beads. I mean, of broken jewelry. So yeah, that was, I still have a ton of that left too. Yes, I'm sure they are, Jennifer. I'm sure they're going to make their way down. They're going to make their way. Ooh, I didn't even notice that one had a little green on it, so that goes nice. They're probably going to come down the stairs when you're sleeping. and haunt you until you finally play with them. Hello, Janet. Yeah, Kim, that's hard. It's, it is hard because it's so much more fun when you get to play with someone else. I had a friend in high school, and me, her, and her mom used to get together once a month on a Saturday morning, and we would just craft. And it was so awesome having somebody to bounce ideas off of and bounce, to show projects to and get feedback. I loved doing that. Of course, we're no longer friends, and I don't live there anymore, so, you know, life is life. Life moves on. What I should do is go through, like, I started to go through some of my stuff. Janet actually bought some of my broken jewelry stuff that I went through, and make up batches of broken jewelry and beads and sell them. Yeah, I like the lives too. I love hearing people's feedback. And I love watching lives and hearing all the ideas and stuff that people share in other people's lives. Speaking of lives, I'm having a live sale on Friday. Weather depending, because we're expecting thunderstorms all week. So if I don't have power, then I won't. But given all the stars are lined up, I'm going to have a sale because my porch is all covered in stuff and my family's ready to kick me out. And they can't even kick me out to the chicken coop anymore because I don't got chickens anymore. So, yeah, I'm going to be purging a lot of junk on Friday. One man's trash, man. One man's trash. Do I have something small I can put on there? Ooh, this is a little thingy. Broken jewelry, though, that is the best place to get some awesome beads. Man, you get some unique stuff because it's, jewelry is just never ending. There's just a constant supply of costume jewelry being made and being thrown out. And charms. I know. I have so many charms. I remember, like, when I first started really getting into this and really getting into the beading side of it, I said, man, all these people got so many really cool charms. I gotta get some. And now look at, I have like 4,000. You'll have to apologize to them, Jennifer. Telling a lie like that. I gotta get my other cutters. Hey, Will. Will. My TV is blaring and nobody's in there. Apologize. Apologize if you can hear my TV. I have people comment on my videos all the time that my TV is distracting. Well, you know what? You're distracting. Leaving me comments telling me my TV is distracting. These are fun. This is like, this is relaxing. You don't even have to color code them if you don't want. I did like pink and brown. This is just a big orange thing. Big orange thing that came off a piece of jewelry. And the shells, like, I don't know why, but every lot I buy seems to have shell beads with them. So I said, well, now's a good time to use up some shell beads. I grabbed some pretty big beads that I didn't want to grab, but I just kind of grabbed fistfuls from a few. Oh, what am I doing? Don't want that. I want this. I was kind of like just grabbing fistfuls of beads from different compartments, so got a big variety. Let's see. Alright, I gotta make some more loopies with my looper. Ooh, Janet. I did that Journal by 5 session with Mary that time live, and I'm not gonna lie, that is the first and last time I ever did it. Not that I don't want to and I have a problem with it, because I think that it's a really cool way to experiment and find new ways to be creative. I just haven't really had time. And to those of you that are just joining, this is a bead looper that I bought off of Amazon, and I have a link for it down below in my description. So I've been like learning as I'm going here. So I learned there's a hole on the side of this one big claw. So you stick it in there, and then this is where it loops, this little pin. So you figure out how long you want your pin to be from the wire based on that little peg. And then you crunch it and it makes an eye. Yeah, I think maybe it's the timer thing that I don't like. I could probably do it without a timer and still, you know, make sure that I'm being spontaneous enough. I could probably do that. I think it might have been the timer that kind of had me a little intimidated. I love this thing. What a fun toy. What?
Can I have some spaghetti with some cheese?
For dinner tonight you can. Can you turn the TV down in there?
What?
Turn down the TV. It's loud. This is like, you could bang these out with this thing. Oh, am I buffering? Because I'm buffering on my end. But I don't know if it's me. Because I'm using 2 different internets right now. I think it was me. My video is way behind. Oh, yeah. My little bear May. It's like a lazy day because of all the storms. It's just pouring out. The girls can't really do anything. I was outside of my shop this morning and I thought I was going to be back out there, so I left the door open and it poured all inside on the floor. I was like, well, my floors got washed. I love your kittens, Janet. They are just adorable. Adorable. Oop. That one went flying. I must have had it out too far. Yeah, we'll have to curve that one. So you stick it through the hole and whoop, cut and curl. These are fun. This tool is fun. Like, I could see myself just taking an entire roll of wire and just making these. Sitting by the TV, just looping. They are very different, Janet. Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing how 2 kids can have the same parents and the same DNA and just be so different. But they get along wonderfully, considering their differences. They do get along very nicely, which is, you know, perfect. And I'm sure in 10 or 15 years from now, I'll be wishing they got along nicely, but for now, they get along perfect. Good enough for me. And they're very good children. I'm very lucky. I count my blessings every day. Curl this, and then I'll cut off my little tail. Am I the only one too? I use my beading tools for like everything. I use them for all kinds of purposes in my art. I always have to have them right nearby because I never know when I'm going to need pliers. Oh my goodness. Have you found homes? Have you looked yet? Because I could tell you the loophole to how to list them on Facebook Marketplace. That's what I did when my mama cat had kittens. Because you're not supposed to advertise live pets. So what I did was I advertised cat toys, and then instead of putting anything in the description, I added a picture where I put in, you know, 3 males and 2 females, blah, 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 all the description of what it is and my phone number to call me. I don't like how that looks, but maybe little squares. Man, that thunder is loud out there. It's a booming. But yeah, that's how I was able to get them listed through Facebook Marketplace, which is where you're going to get the most exposure that way. That was before we have a Friends of the Animal Shelter. It's just boarding for shelter animals. And you're allowed to drop so many kittens or puppies off there, but it's only so many. You know, you can only drop off 3 or 4, I think. And I'm not going to burden people with that. I'm going to, you know, I will take care of those kittens. I will take care of finding homes. And they all went to good homes. But unfortunately, as just a total coincidence, every one of those kittens, except for the one I have now that I kept, all of her kittens ended up getting hit by a car at different points in their life. You know, one of them was kind of young and she got hit, and one of them was maybe a year old and he got hit. Yeah, you do become attached. You do. That's just so many mouths for me to feed. I have a friend though, like she wants, if you get a stray cat in your neighborhood, she wants you to bring it to her house. Like she has goats and all kinds of stuff going on, chickens. And the cats really keep the mouse population out of the hay and out of the grain. So she takes any unwanted cats, which is perfect because there's tons of unwanted cats. I mean, I know it's everywhere, but around here we've got tons. People drop them off everywhere. They drop them off out here all the time. Because my intersection up the road here, there's no, you know, you could do it without being seen. The house, there's one house on the corner and it's facing away from the intersection, so you could very easily drop an animal off, and they do. Dogs and cats all the time. Makes me sick. I mean, I'll admit, I had a dog, and I did get rid of him. Didn't dump him off. I gave him to another family, but I did that because of the situation in my life had changed. But I made sure I found a good family for him. I didn't just send him off with the first whoever to respond to my ad. It was on Craigslist back when that's how we did things, was on Craigslist. I got rid of my dog that way, and I gave him away. I didn't ask for money. Just like with these kittens, I didn't ask for money. I just gave them away. I just wanted them to have good homes. I didn't need anything. I didn't need anything for them. I hadn't even spent any money on them to feed them or anything. My mama cat, she'd been hunting and stuff. I made these ones kind of long, I guess. Those kittens are adorable, though, Janet. Oh, they are adorable. I love seeing the pictures. Makes me miss having kittens. But my girls are both fixed. No kittens in my future. But it was fun because we had the kittens and it was at the beginning of the pandemic. So, you know, Lily got to really experience. She's the one who found Mama just after she'd had the kittens. And, you know, Lily got to really experience life. And we had one kitten that was sick. We had one kitten that passed away, you know, a week or so, no, a few weeks maybe after she was born. And we buried her. We had a little thing for her, you know. And put her in the ground. Y'all, I got a sore throat. And it has been sore since yesterday. I really hope this isn't something. What a funky bead that is. It's like an arrow. So I made myself an unsweet tea. I buy the Louisiana brand. I like the Louisiana brand. And I juiced oranges into it. And it tastes so good. Hello, Miss Stephanie. Oh, sorry. My phone. So, Stephanie, I got my magic mats and I have not been die cutting. I have not done any die cutting, but I ordered the 2-pack. I thought it was only the 1-pack, but yeah, I ended up getting the 2-pack of mats. So I shouldn't need my cutting plates at all. I should be able to just get rid of them. I mean, I won't, but you know what I mean. I shouldn't need to use them anymore. What a weird bead that is. That's not gonna work for me, is it? I might be able to do it on this side. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to play with those. Because, you know, I get tired of the cutting mats leaving the impressions in the paper. You know, of all the die cutting lines and stuff. I don't like that. And that's what they do. And it doesn't take very long for them to start leaving, you know, marks. Doesn't take that many uses. Does it work?
I don't know.
Are you going up? You going up there?
We was on the couch, being quiet.
All right. Yeah,
Coming with me.
she does good with that.
We just put all the drawers back in the toolbox.
You want
Ooh.
your phone, Dad?
All right.
You know, bring it with you.
Good luck.
Do you want
Let me know how it goes.
No. Let Ray know.
Yep. So my husband bought, yeah, I had been lurking. I was watching it, but I was putting stuff together, so I didn't have my phone where I could chat. So like, well, I'll just sit here and listen for a while. Oh, I'll just sit here and listen for a while. And then when you said you were going to go, I was like, well, I'll just let her know I was here at least so she knows. Like, hey, I was here. I was lurking. My husband bought, we bought a man lift, which is like the machines that they lift you up into the sky. You see electricians working in bucket trucks and stuff. Well, it's like that, except it's not a truck. It's its own standalone thing. Poor guy has had such bad luck trying to get this thing going, so he's going up right now in the middle of all this lovely weather to see if he can get it running after he just fixed the carburetor again on it again. I'm gonna have to take a break for a second so I could let the guy know, because it's still at the place. It's still at the guy's garage because we have to have it towed home, but it has to be in a certain working order in order to have it towed home. So yeah, so that's where he's going. He has the worst luck. I have never seen anybody that has as bad a luck as my husband. I'm not kidding. Like the other day, we're over at the man lift and we're working on it, and we got it running, which was nice. And we got it closed up, which is nice because it was open and it had been open for a long time. I'm going to chat while I message this guy that he's on his way. So it had been open for a long time. And he finally got everything freed up so that the hydraulics would work to close it up. So that was exciting. Like, that was a big moment. We were really excited about that. And we get home and he goes to move his pickup truck and the transmission started acting up in his truck. I'm like, you just can't get forward. Like, you go one step forward and two steps back every time we try and do something. I have two different internets. So my house internet is like really slow today because of the rain. As soon as it starts raining, boom, slow internet. They won't come fix it either. They tell me it's not. They tell me that's not the case. But I'm lying, I guess. I guess I'm a liar. So while I wait for this stupid thing to load, I will keep beating, I guess. I don't know why it's got to log me out of Facebook. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to deserve a log out. I love the bulb pins. I always forget I have them, which is what made me... when I found them, I said, I gotta do something with them suckers. So here I am. Come on. Let's see. This makes me nuts. This tablet's old. Like, it just... It's an antique now in tablets. It's an antique in tablet years. So it's gotta just be complicated. No, I don't care about viewing my accounts. I care about just letting this guy know that I'm coming over. Let me see if I can marketplace. So what's everybody working on today? What is everybody working on? All right, there we go. Like Gmail keeps telling me Gmail stopped working. This thing is just old, like, and I should get a new one. I don't know. I should get another tablet. All right, that should work. Just tell Ray. Oh, that Brian is heading that way for a bit. Bits, you making up some Kim bits today? I love watching the stuff you make. Did you see those leaves that Cheryl Johnson made? It was very Kim-esque. She said she saw the idea on Pinterest. Pinterest is dangerous. Like, I look at Pinterest once in a while when I'm laying down and like getting ready to go to sleep, and then I'm stuck on Pinterest for 40 days and 40 nights. Pinterest is just dangerous. The leaves that Cheryl made, though, at first I thought they were you. I said, oh, look at Kim made some leaves, and then I saw it was Cheryl. I said, uh-huh. The Kim style is rubbing off on other artists in our community. I was surprised, but they were beautiful, funky leaves. I loved them. Oh, I gotta remember to use some beading caps. Those I got off of AliExpress, the beading caps. Alright, I gotta use my cool tool again. Look at this, going so quick. We don't even notice how fast we're going through these. Alright. So, if you're new to the stream, I recently bought, I bought a long time ago, a bead looper, and I put the link in the description. So this tool is so cool because you put it through this hole and then you make it as long as you want here. Okay, so this, from this point out is going to be the length of your bead, and you crimp the pliers, it cuts it and makes an eye at the same time. So yeah, I left that link down below. And like once you get in the groove of it, you could just bang these things out. I keep making them too long, a little shorter, Malia, a little bit shorter. And watch, now I'm gonna make them too short. I think there's no happy medium. I guess I could use my mat here and I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to plan it, I guess. We're just gonna have to think about this, okay? I have everything out for spaghetti for dinner tonight. I have sauce. I make my sauce in bulk. And the last time I made sauce, I made 5 gallons, roughly. The pot I made it in holds about 5 gallons. I have a big old stove. My stove's 100 years old, so it can handle a pot that is 5 gallons. It's half gas. My stove is half gas, half wood. And the gas burners are very large. So, I mean, it literally takes like a few minutes to boil a big pot of water. If you're like me and you can't wrap wire, very tool is totally the way to go. But yeah, so tonight is spaghetti night. Vera has already been asking me for spaghetti. She's like, can I have spaghetti? I'm like, yeah, tonight. Tonight we'll make spaghetti. Calm down. That one's too long. See, I keep making them too long. All right, go with that for a little bit. Oh, I'll drink some tea. All right. So it does, it rolls at like 99, it rolls at like 90%. And I just go the last little bit with the pliers just because that's how I roll. I have a lot of wooden beads. I had in some of the jewelry that I had dismantled, I had a lot of necklaces, like those necklaces that have 3 or 4 necklaces attached to one, that were wooden beads, all different colors, and like these ones here are painted silver, and just a lot of wooden beads. So I have got a ton of wooden beads, and I try and use them where I can. They're good for like little embellishments like this. I don't mind. I like the wood beads. Oh, am I frozen? Because I'm frozen on my end again. Again. I'm frozen. That is probably my house internet, because everything looks good on this end. Everything looks fine on the stream, but it doesn't look fine on the tablet. But it could be my stream end too, because I'm trying to upload a video and stream at the same time. I'm really asking a lot from the technology gods today. In thunderstorm weather too. So I'm really asking for a lot. So I can't really complain if they don't comply with my demands. Oh, I need some chapstick. I have a bead scoop, which would have been nice when I was getting all these beads. But I can't. I can't do anything if the bead scoop is over here and my beads are all the way over there. And I was over there and I'm like, huh, I wonder where my bead scoop is. I can see it in my drawer. My little clear plastic drawer. That's one thing I am excited for with my studio, is to get rid of the plastic stuff. I am over the plastic drawers. I am going to get wood as much as I can. Huh. My YouTube is really frozen. Let me see if I'm really frozen. I'm sorry if, let's see. Hey, look at that. You're all talking. And I'm not even, my YouTube is not working at all on my tablet. Let's see. So hi to everybody who has recently arrived. Hey, May, can you bring in my old phone on the table? Thanks, babe. My tablet's done crapped out. It won't even like shut off. I can't even shut it off. I'm just gonna unplug it and just let it do whatever it's gotta do. Thanks, baby. Because I can't see my chat. Okay. Let's get back to YouTube. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that ooh, wrong YouTube account. I have 2 YouTube accounts. The other one I've never used before. I cannot believe that you've all been talking this whole time. And here I am, thinking that no one's talking. All right. Hello, Janice and Ray. Oh, I love my looper. I love this bead looper. Yeah, the rain is coming down here too, Stephanie. It's like, hello, Lori. Oh, it's like pouring out. It's been thunderstorming, so my husband's outside working on heavy equipment in the rain. And he took my child. So keep them in your prayers that they stay away from the lightning. But yeah, this bead looper is a game changer. I cannot believe I did not know this existed until it showed up on my recommendations from Amazon. So if you're looking for a bead looper that makes these nice round eyes on wire, you don't have to go buy eye pins all the time. Go down to the link in my description and get yourself a looper. Do I not have another? Yes, I got another dark blue-ish. Darkish. No, totally different color blue. Oh, well, give me 2 different color blues on there. I seem to always make blue. I seem to always go towards blues and browns in everything. My clothes, my art, apparently. Ooh, made that loop kind of. Let's see if I can't get this in there. Oh, yuck, Janice. Work is for quitters. No, I'm just kidding. I've been working all day. Out in my building, stripping boards. In the house, I put together 2 supply flowish journals for my sale. I'm gonna have a live sale on Friday. You know, depending on weather, because our weather's supposed to be pretty crappy all week, but I'm going to try very hard to have a live sale on Friday and clear some stuff out. And I'm going to offer my 2 flowish. That's where they're going to make their debut. So I'm uploading a video right now of a flip through. I might have more made by then too, because I've got more book covers that I want to use for that. But we'll see. We'll see, because I can't seem to do things in one sitting. It takes me, 400 sittings to get something completed. Which is why this beading thing was nice, because I can sit down and I can do it for a little bit, and then if something comes up, then something comes up. Yes, genius invention, the bead looper. I was like, I don't know how I'd never heard of it. My mind was blown with the looper. Ooh, here's the first one I made. Put it on that side. But yes, love the bead looper. Genius invention. I will definitely use the tail off of that thing on dangles and things like this with the little bulb pins. I will use the tail off of that thing. And like all the reviews too, every review was just, how did I live so long without this in my life? And it's true, like if you're like me, I've got some things that I've made out of beads and they're really nice looking things, but the wire, you know, I can't wrap. I can't make a nice wire circle. So it looks like this beautiful beaded item, and then a 3-year-old wrapped it. Is this a pink? That's a pink. Very nice. So yeah, that was a game changer for me. And today's the first day I'm getting to really play with it since I bought it 100 years ago. So it's nice. I am impressed. I am impressed with that. Chat filter. Oh, that's in a weird place on this device. Yeah, like I'm just horrible at it. I wish I could. You know, maybe I'll like take one of those classes to teach me how to wrap, how to wire wrap beads. Oh, sorry for the noise. The guy with the man lift. Tell him we're on our way over. Because we try and be respectful. You know, we're going on this guy's property. At least let him know we're going there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even teachable on doing wire wrapping, because I've been doing it for a long time and I am no good at it still. I've been trying to make eye pins and head pins for years. I can't believe I had never heard of this machine, this tool. That thing isn't right for this. This is though. That is very pretty. Maybe I should zoom some more. Let's see. Am I zoomed on that end? No, maybe not. Oh, yeah, I did zoom. Let's zoom a little more. There we go. Maybe you can almost see what I'm doing now. Because when you're working with beads, it's little bitties. Let's put another. Some of these I made like too big. These wire. I don't want to keep cutting them. Because these little wire tails, they're going to end up on my floor at some point, and that's going to hurt. I already know. These little wire cuttings. They're not all going to end up there, but one will. And that one is going to find my foot. Like, what does the underneath of your desk look like? Raise your hand if it's a jungle under there. Because it is for me. Underneath my desk is a jungle. There's die cuts down there. There's beads. I got little pieces of ephemera. I got scraps. I've got lace bits down there and fabric. Yeah, like I cleaned under there recently. Recently meaning like within the last like 2 months. And I can't. It's already a disaster again. You know, I bet you the looper that makes the small loops would be good to have too. I mean, this makes a nice, this 2.5 millimeter is just fine for what I need. But in the future, I might invest in the smaller one too. Yeah, it's like under my desk is packed with stuff. I've got magazines down there. I have got my napkin poop from all my napkins down there. I have this like drawer thing that I put all my markers and stuff in. They're all under there. It's like a war zone down there. My desk is a war zone. Warzone desk. These will be awesome. These would be awesome for on paper clips. I used to do paper clips like beaded little dangly things off of them with small seed beads. That was fun. Those always added a nice little oomph to things that I was working on. I'm glad I'm not the only one whose desk underneath their desk is a total nightmare because it's so hard. You know, it's so hard to keep all this stuff straight and clean and sorted. It really gets overwhelming. You know, you enjoy finding the stuff as much as you enjoy using it, sometimes more. Yeah, paper clips. I used to make like little wire dangles that maybe yay long, and put them on paper clips, and they look really nice hanging off a piece of paper. But it gets overwhelming having so much stuff. Like, I almost miss the days when I had much less stuff to work with because... And that's a big blue bead. Yeah, it's... Like, I have a video, my first crafty video, I think, where I did a tour of my craft space, which is like the same space, but I was using half of the space that I'm using now. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, you know, that is really, I'm going to grab bigger ones for this. Bigger caps. I'm like, wow, you know, that is really the best way to be, is the lesser amount of stuff. Because you get all this stuff, you know, I have stuff I don't even know what it is. Yeah, I do too, Ray. And don't get me wrong, there are some times that I just love to organize because all the things, they inspire me, but it's overwhelming. You know, it's overwhelming. I guess that looks okay. I guess. No, that doesn't look okay. That's too big. I love organizing and going through my stuff and getting all inspired by it all again, but there's just a lot. The looper onto a paper clip. Well, what you could do is you could make the loop and then put it on the paper clip and tighten it, is probably what I would do. All right, I'm going to take this little one off. Because, like, if I wanted to loop this, it would make a big, the loop it would make would be too big for what I'm doing. Because I don't have a lot of space on the end of this particular wire, so I would do this with my pliers. But if you had it, if you could finagle it with your hands, I guess you could probably do it on a paper clip. Yeah, it makes me overwhelmed too, Ray. Just... But, you know what? It would probably loop, if you're talking about looping an actual paper clip like some people do. Let's try it. Let's try it, because I have got paper clips, man. Tons of paper clips. So let's grab a paper clip. And like people do the... I'm going to just try a plain old silver paper clip. Not one of these colored ones that are all thick and painty crap. They have like 4 or 5 different sizes, right? And I grabbed this one because it was like kind of middle of the road size-wise. And I said, well, it's, you know, and this one seemed to have the most reviews, I guess. And so I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to try it. And so I might go with I might get a smaller one at some point too. Let's go this way. So it loops it out. I don't want to cut it. Let's see. It takes some elbow grease to really squeeze that on there. But yes. it will loop. It will loop the end of a paper clip. Let's try and do this part. Yeah, I'm assuming that it's different sizes. I am going to assume that it has. I probably want to go this way with it so it'll loop it inward. Go. Okay, shove that on in there. You would have to do a little straightening out because of the way you've got to get it in there. But if you just took your pliers and straightened it out, you could get it. You could do it. You could loop it very nicely. I guess you would have to play with it, and you would have to play with it to figure out the easiest way to get the loop, to get the metal in there, to get the paper clip in there. But yeah, I like that. That looks pretty darn cool. I would do that to some more paper clips. I love these little filigree, filament, what do they call these little caps? These little bitty ones. I like them. Just simple. They don't have a lot of bulk. Sorry if you got my big gray head over there. All my hair, almost all my hair is gray. Almost all of my hair. People go gray in my family young. My cousin, he was gray in his senior picture, high school picture. Yeah, I think that would work. And the thing is, too, is the paper clip that I just did, I have a lot of older paper clips. I bet you if you got cheap paper clips, which is like anything new, it would probably bend a lot easier, too, than what I just did. I'll bet you. I'll bet you it would bend much easier on new garbage paper clips than those old rugged paper clips. Oh, let's see. That's kind of, it's giving me a lot of room. So put these on there. Little double bead. I just can't believe I'd never heard of that looper until a few months ago when I bought it. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I can't, the tools they have now, you know, I never would have imagined that something like that existed, that looper. I never would have thought a tool like that existed, but it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. To own one makes so much sense, especially if you're like me and your loops are more like scribbles. It's just they have so much stuff out. You know, think about when you first started crafting, you really had to improvise and make do with what you had. You know, if it was like when I first started, I've been crafting my whole life. So when I was a kid, you had pom-poms and pipe cleaners. Ooh, wow. You know, what do you do with that stuff? And construction paper, like that's what we had to play with, and markers and stuff. You had to get creative with what you were doing. But nowadays, man, they have got a tool and a supply and a paper and a stamp and a punch and a die for every single thing you could possibly think of. Yeah, 1902. That's how it was, man. You had to make do with what you had in 1902. 121 years ago. You know? You had some yarn. Maybe. If your neighbor spun you any, you would have some yarn. If the sheep cooperated and you were able to shear it, you might have had some yarn to play with. If not, you were taking apart the curtains. Make something new out of them. Like Scarlett O'Hara. You can wear the drapes. I'm not going to lie. I've seen some drapes that I would wear. I have seen some drapes that I would totally make into clothing. When I lived in Massachusetts, there was this curtain store near me, and they sold very high-end, expensive window treatments. They're still there, I think. Maybe. They might not be. I'm not sure. But anyways, I would go in there when I was a kid with my mom, and I'd say to myself, why do they have this stuff to go on your windows? Why aren't they making this stuff into dresses? It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. Oh, I want to use these little flowers. You know, there are just some curtains that don't make good curtains. Okay, they'd be much nicer as a dress. They look much nicer on my body than on my windows. But I guess, like, I'm not a very big interior decorator person, so that could be why too. Like, I don't know how to, I'm decorationally challenged. I have no idea how to decorate. Come on, fingers. Yeah. Which is weird because, like, I love to create things. I just don't like to put them up in my house. Which I should. I don't know why I don't. I don't know why. And I've made some nice things that I could probably hang up. I guess, like, I feel afraid that nobody else in my house would like it. But me. I'm the only one. Yeah, it is expensive. That's why, you know, it's cool when you make your own art, you make your own stuff. Or thrifted things, you know. But yeah, I do that too. I've done that with dressers. I've done it with tables. I've taken furniture pieces and completely taken them apart and turned them into something totally new. Like frames. I've done mirrors and things like that. Isn't that amazing? And I haven't put them up in my house. Those specific ones I've sold. Actually, I used to do stuff like that. My dad used to get into stuff like that, and we would do that when he was around many moons ago. I started following this guy, and I know there's a lot of people online who do this, but I just started following this new guy on Instagram, and he takes the old pictures and he puts different things in them. You know, he paints different things into the pictures. I get such a kick out of that. And some of it, you know, most of it is like sci-fi type stuff. You know, he puts like Star Wars characters and things like that, which might not be my taste per se, but I just love that idea. Yeah, that's a good idea too, Ray. Like, I have a ton of old furniture from my family that I should do that with. I know, Kim. I know. I should hang my work. I should believe in what I'm doing. I know that I should. I should, damn it. I should believe in myself. Believe in your damn self. That's what I should be doing. If I get my craft space out of the house, and I have area that isn't, if I have space that isn't completely engulfed in crap, maybe I will start considering, because like I don't have a living room right now. This is my living room. And it is also where my daughters are sleeping. So if I get the kids upstairs into the bedroom, if we finish that project and I can have this as a living room, maybe I'd be more apt to put, things up and hang up some of my art and make some things for certain spaces. Because right now my living room is in with my dining room table. We have a dining room table and then a couch. And then we have a little tiny TV in there. And that's what we use. That's how it's been here for a long time. So we really have to finish the house is what we have to do. Maybe I'd be more apt to decorate once, the space looks a little more finished than, just kind of sitting on our hands waiting for the stuff to get done, be done, Man, this thing is great. Yeah, like, it's just, I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of, kind of screwed that one up. I don't like the feeling of having it not be finished, having it not be in a permanent type of situation. I mean, the girls are getting big now. It's nice having them downstairs with us while they were little, which is why it was easy to keep the bedroom in the living room for the girls. But now they're getting older. They're getting bigger. They're going to want their own space. It's I like having my girls right here. I like having them close right downstairs because then they're right here. I walk across the hallway and there they are. But I can't be like that forever. They're going to want to grow up and do their own thing. And I, you know, I respect that. I was that age. I wanted to grow up and do my own thing. So, and they're going to share a bedroom up there. I want to get them some of those platform beds because we live in an old farmhouse. Okay, all my rooms are squares. My whole house is filled with 13 by 13 squares. And so the bedrooms upstairs are both 13 by 13 squares. No closets, okay, just a square. So I want to get them platform beds that have like a closet with it. And maybe have a bureau built in and a closet underneath or something, or a desk underneath. Or I want to make their space so that they want to be in it and they want to enjoy it. Because I know what it's like. I grew up in a lot of temporary situations too, so I know what it's like to want to set a room up a certain way and knowing that, you can't because, you're in the living room. And my 9-year-old, she's growing up, She doesn't complain. She doesn't complain about all my crap being in here, which is very nice because I'm sure that if I was 9, I would complain about all the crap. It's tight quarters in this room. But she tolerates me. Kid's like an angel, I'll tell you. She is a very special little human. My youngest, though, when she gets to the point that she starts to get fed up, she'll complain. I could just tell. She'll complain about it. I can just feel the complaints already bubbling up. It's a nice old farmhouse that we live in. But it's not practical. It's not practical for 4 people. For 4 people to live in. I have 3 bedrooms. I got 2 upstairs. My husband is convinced to leave the one room as a spare room, but I'm sure that when we realize that people aren't going to visit, like people aren't going to come visit us, then once he gets over that hurdle of realizing that no one's coming, he'll probably put one of the girls in there. But in the meantime, he lives in this dream world where he thinks that people are going to come visit and stay with us. But I just know they're not. We've been here for 10 years and we haven't had many people come visit. I could count on one hand how many people have come visit us and stayed. And the people who come to stay the most are people who live an hour away. They're friends of ours. And they come and they stay on Friday nights on occasion, and we stay up late and we chat and we laugh, and then Saturday we hang out for however long they can stay, and then that's it. But like my family, they don't come visit. His family don't come visit. So sometimes you gotta accept the fact that that spare room is gonna collect a lot of dust. Which he'll find. He'll realize it. He'll especially realize it when the girls get bigger and they want their own rooms. That's when it'll all start to make sense. Maybe. Who knows? Might not make sense at all. Ever. Because, you know, men, they don't really understand things like that with women needing their space like that. Men like to live with a pack mentality. I don't like to live with a pack mentality. Man, look at my little thing. I'm getting it done. We are banging these out, man. This is fun though. This is relaxing. Like, this is something that I use. These pans. These are I have a bunch of different pans that I use, but these ones specifically are heavy duty stainless steel. I don't know if they're restaurant quality, if they're from a restaurant or what, but they're heavy. This is rugged. I got 2 of them, and it's a heavy pan. So that shell bead is really big. So, you know, I just put a bunch in here. I also have a big muffin tin that is from a baker. That's from a bakery. And I use silver for this. When I'm sorting my beads to put them away, I use the big muffin tin. But when I get into my studio and I have space to put things, I might work out of the muffin tin. But, you know, you always say you're going to have space. But I think we all know that there's going to be no space to be had, so. But the muffin tin works good to sort out, you know, piles like this that has to be put back where it belongs or find a home for it. It works good for stuff like that. And a smaller muffin tin, which I've got plenty. I just haven't used them for this, but I have plenty of smaller muffin pans. They would work, you know, they would work good for this too. To be on your desk with compartments, but I threw them all in one pan because I'm a sucker for punishment. Well, plus I have 40 bazillion more that I have to put away already, so I have to find homes for. And I said that I wasn't going to add any more boxes to my bead collection, so I'm going to have to start clearing some out and getting rid of some, I think. Sorry, my big ugly head. But I can't see to find the green one I'm looking for. Very nice. This is very relaxing. This is just really nice. You know, it's not, you don't have a lot of pressure. You just kind of go through some beads and pull out a couple, and it's small scale, you know, it's not a big dangle. Although I do this for my dangle pieces too, where I make up a bunch of pins with beads on them first. But yeah, I like this. This is nice. Fun type thing to do. Especially if you're in between projects. Like I'm kind of in between things a little bit here, and I don't want to get, I already have a whole bunch of stuff put aside over here for other projects that I want to get up working on. So it's like I don't want to bring a third project out. But at least this with the beads, I can just put them all away. I could put the pan and everything back on the shelf and just be done. I guess I'm going to have to go with that bead. I think tonight I'm going to make zucchini noodles instead of pasta for myself. Although what I sometimes do is I sometimes make a little bit of whole wheat pasta and then the zucchini noodles, just to give myself the little, just to curb the need for pasta. You know, sometimes you just need pasta, and if you're like me, like I'm pretty sure semolina flour runs in my veins. I would like to make my own noodles someday. I have not done that before. There's a restaurant. It is an Italian restaurant, and it is in the middle of nowhere, Virginia, like up in the mountains, literally in the middle of nowhere. But they make their own pasta. Oh, it is to die for. Like, it's incredible to find this. And it's pretty inside, you know, it's very nice atmosphere. And they make their own pasta, and it's incredible. You would never think, driving by it in the Family Dollar Plaza, that this little tiny hole in the wall place makes their own pasta that tastes so amazing. But it's out there. Those are usually the best places, the little hole in the wall places. I'm going to go through these bulb pins, I think. Which is alright, I've had them for 150 years. Just order another package of them. So what is everybody cooking? What kind of good foods is everyone eating? I'll live vicariously through all of you because I'm trying to straighten up my act and eat better. But I'm going to tell you what, I love food. I just love food. I love to experiment with food. I love to try different food. I love all kinds of food. And I'm never going to lose weight. Ooh, broccoli corn chowder. I love anything with broccoli. Broccoli is definitely one of my faves. And I bet you that tastes amazing together. I think broccoli is a very underrated soup ingredient people don't think to use. I went to a restaurant. One thing that they make down here, they make broccoli slaw, broccoli coleslaw, which I've never heard of until I moved to the South. And I'll tell you what, depending on the restaurant, you know, some of them are not so good, but that, if you go to the right place, that is very good. Broccoli slaw. I never had that in New England. We never broccoli slawed before. Or if we did, it wasn't a popular dish. It wasn't something that people, you know, talked about all the time. But yeah, down here, broccoli slaw. It is good. If you get, you know, the right, go to the right places, it's good. as with everything, there's rights and wrongs. There's rights and wrong ways to make everything. What happened to my bead? I lost it. And when I'm done with this, I'll bet you the beads that I'm going to have on the floor. I mean, I haven't dropped any yet, but the day is still young. There's time yet to drop them. I still have to go outside and check to see if we have any, if I have any meatballs in the freezer. I don't think I do. I think I just have some sausage. Italian sausages. See, and another thing too is you can easily take these apart, not really miss out on much, and change it up a little bit if you want. So like I kind of want these beads that look like oil. It's like oil slick on the bead. I like that look. So I could put one of those, put this big black thing here with the silver doodads, and then I could put another one of these, and the little black seeds. It's the time of year in my house. I don't know if everybody's house gets like this, but in this old farmhouse, my house stinks this time of year. It smells. The trash, you know, the trash will smell within a few days, and we don't even put our food stuff in the trash. Our food stuff goes outside. But, you know, packaging and stuff, I guess, that doesn't get rinsed out good. You can smell it. Like right now, I can smell it. These old houses, they're good for their smells. And then, you know, I have a dirt floor basement, so it's wet, damp basement. So that smell seeps up through. In the fall time, or when the air dries out, I do put a fan down there and leave the door open and the fan on for a long time. We did have a dehumidifier down there, but dehumidifiers, they make your electric bill go up a lot. So I kind of shut that off when our electric bill went up by $100 a month. More, $100 more. Which our bill already is, you know, over $100. This little disc, yeah, doesn't fit. Doesn't fit very nicely. That little circle does though. So like my mother says, we have housetosis. Housetosis. But I think the dump is closed today. Yes, I put those in my closets. Those dry bags, I keep them in my closets. And also another thing I do, I have one closet to hang stuff in, and it's in my hallway. It's the only closet in the whole house that you could actually use. I put, I leave the door of that closet open, just a crack. And I find that my closet smells less musty that way. You know, it's just what you get for living in an old house. I've lived in an old house my whole life. Always been old houses, and there's always been some kind of trick or flaw that you just gotta work around. Although I think new houses are like that too. I mean, I know people who had a house built specifically and their hardwood floors are all warped, the wood, which I'm like, I couldn't pay that kind of money and have my floors warped. I don't want the thing. Oh, I guess it looks okay with that at the top. We're going to try the other way. But yeah, there's like damp rid. We get bags, and then you can get the bags that have the, you know, fragrance in it too. So sometimes I get the ones that smell like lavender and put them in my closet. They work nicely. I like it better like this with the little thing. The big bead hanging at the bottom. I was lurking at Janet's this morning, which was, she does such inspiring stuff. I just love watching her. She has got some of the coolest ideas, simple too, like you can, just simple ideas that, you know, you'd never think of unless somebody like you pointed it out. And then you're like, wow, you know, it opens up a whole world of possibilities of things to do. Yeah, she is great. I just love watching her. And like that smiley face journal, I just loved it from Friday, her video on last week, because I had smiley face everything in the 90s, like the late 90s and the early 2000s when those smiley faces made a comeback. I had purses with smiley faces. You know, I had stickers covering everything. I had a boombox that I put smiley face stickers on. I loved the smiley face craze. And then, you know, they had the smiley face with the flowers like they did in the 70s. And it was, I just love that. And she sent my girls a couple of fairies. And Vera actually, she takes hers outside and plays with it outside. She takes her fairy with her to play. And I think it's so cute. So we're going to make fairies for Janet, we said. I'm going to get some of my fussy cut stuff and find like a dress from a magazine and let them make her head and whatever for her. For their own little fairy. I could send to Janet. Because I told them, I said, Janet has sent you a lot of happy mail. It's time. You got to send her some happy mail. So they were excited. They liked that idea. Janet sends them some really cute stuff. And I love watching the stuff that she does. Not to mention, I really enjoy seeing other parts of the world, like when she does the video little snippets in the parks and on their walks. I just love that. I just love seeing that. Just someplace new. I guess stuff like that just fascinates me. Just seeing somewhere different. Even people in America or in North America. Just seeing different places. I follow like a couple of people on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't found a lot of YouTubers that aren't craft channels that I'm really crazy about. You know, there's some channels that I've watched a little bit off and on, but I follow this one channel and she really follows people all over the world. She goes to different places all over the world. People who just live differently. You know, like one guy the most recent one I watched, which was like a month ago. He's completely off the grid and he bought this little stone cabin, you know, little stone shack like, and he redid it, but it's not fancy inside, you know, it's beautiful and but it's very practical. And he has he built an outdoor shower and that's where he, you know, showers. He didn't put a bathroom in it or anything. I just thought that was really cool, you know. And this one video, the same woman that I watched, she went to this guy's house and he wasn't American, so it was subtitles. I think it was in Italy, and he bought an old farmhouse, which was a stone house, and the animals lived in the lower part. The cows and the horses lived in the lower part, and he then turned the lower part when he bought the place into his kitchen and stuff. And I mean, he made it look beautiful. He must have been some kind of an interior designer. So it was just incredible. But like I like watching stuff like that, people in different parts of the world. But I don't know, like I watch some videos I got really into the people who like to go into abandoned places. I got really into that, but then like some of the ones that you watch, they have turned really commercialized, and some of the ones that you watch, I understand, you know, you like the suspense and stuff, but just walk through the place and show the place. You don't have to build suspense for a wall or what you found in a cabinet or something. Just freaking show what you're doing. And my kids, they like to watch gamers on YouTube. That's like, they watch all these people playing video games. And they watch people eating. Like, that's the thing now. We watch people eat. The ASMR videos. It's just weird. Watching people eat. Although I can't say anything. Yeah, some of them are really creepy. Yes, especially like the old, you know, hospitals and stuff. That's just... Oop, I forgot to put it on the cutting part. That's just creepy to me. The hospitals. But yeah, some of them are creepy. I do follow a duck on Instagram. Most of my Instagrams are animals. I follow a lot of animals on Instagram. So I follow a duck, and I watch his ASMR videos of him eating ice cubes out of like Dunkin' Donuts cups, which I think is so adorable. He gets ice water from Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, and he eats it. Oh, that something like that makes sense, Kim. You know, for you, like you have a companion there to eat with. But they watch people eating, opening and eating like candy and Slurpees and weird, weird stuff. But if you're actually like you have a purpose to watch those videos, then that's one thing. But yeah, some of the things they watch, some of the things on the internet's just, I honestly try and keep them off of YouTube, because the stuff for kids on YouTube, it's really just brain rotting. It just rots your brain. That's what I tell them. I say, you can't watch this stuff. You want to play a game, play a game. You want to learn something, then learn something. But this stuff just rots your brain. Oh, yes, I do. I follow the chunks. They were one of the first animals, actually, that I started following. And I follow this parrot. He is called Gizmo the Gray Bird. Oh my God. This parrot is so funny. His personality is so funny. I just love watching him. I mean, like all these animals, they're my friends. You know, we're all like BFFs, obviously. All my BFF animal buddies. Oh, and another thing I got into too on Instagram was it started on TikTok for like, I watched TikTok for like 5 minutes, but I don't like TikTok. So on Instagram too, the cat videos, cat point of view. Oh my goodness, those are so funny. Where like they put a camera on the cat's collar and just wherever the cat goes, and there's just some amazing cats out there. Out there roaming the world. Oh, I don't know if I follow that one. No, I think I do. I might on Instagram. I might follow Maru. I don't know. I'd have to look, because I follow so many cats. And then I follow people who all they do is they go and look, and they go and they pet cats. So yeah, it's all my friends are animals on Instagram. Oh, and I like the dancers. Like I follow a lot of the dancers. I like watching the dancers. They're fun. Cats and dancers. and art, obviously, on Instagram. And farms. I follow a lot of farms with a lot of chickens. I love watching chickens. I'll have to look that one up, Janice, when I get off of here for sure, because that's one of my chill out activities at night is I watch Instagram, and like my husband watches the YouTube shorts and it's all serious stuff, political crap, all the junk and garbage that's going on all over the world that I don't want to watch. He watches all that stuff and gets all worked up, and I watch animals and funny videos. And I laugh the whole time. He's over there getting himself all fired up, and I'm watching all my little furry friends and feathered friends, and I'm just laughing, living the dream. Like, I even have my kids, like, whenever I'm on Instagram, they're like, oh, what's Gizmo up to? Sorry, got a call from my husband. He's probably on his way back. But even my kids come up to me and they're like, oh, how is so and so? Hey, May, can you bring me in the house phone? Yeah. Yeah, yep. There you go. Answer it. It's Dad.
Hello? Hi. She's doing some crafty stuff. She's doing some stuff. She's doing her job.
Hi. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Wow. Just like, he just said, okay, I'll talk to her later. He didn't even make me talk. Crazy. But yeah, we follow Gizmo the gray bird. We follow Gonzo the cat. He's one of those point of view cats. I love to watch him. Gonzo cracks me up. We follow a lot of them. It's all animals. I'll tell you, it takes like a good 5 minutes of scrolling through Instagram before I get to a person. I have this one woman that I follow. She built herself a shed like I'm doing. She sews for the most part. She does sewing and she sells the stuff that she sews, and she sews some really cute stuff. But she has chickens, and her chicken, she has one rooster who every day comes into her sewing shed, crows for a few minutes, does his little song and dance. Then he has his own basket that he lays down and takes a nap in his own little basket. I'm like, that is so sweet, and I love that. But I wouldn't do that with my chickens because chicken shit is really hard to clean up sometimes. Chicken shit can be really hard to clean up. And I don't want that in my building. But yeah, she's I like watching her. I like I like watching her chickens. And now I don't have any chickens, so I have to live vicariously through all the chicken people until we get more chickens. Which is going to be a while because we got to fix the coop. So nothing else gets in. Because that was very sad. We lost all of our chickens. Well, the last two that we had. I don't know if I've seen Poe the Raven, but I do follow a raven. I do follow a guy who has a raven. Oh, I think it's James. I think the one I follow is the raven's name is James. I have to go and buy eggs now. Can you believe that? To buy eggs. But yeah, this guy with the raven, this bird is like brilliant. Oh, I'll have to find Poe. Oh, see, so I'm not alone. Everybody has their animal friends. Everybody follows their animal friends. I love all my animal friends. Yeah, you really can't beat the farm fresh eggs. And I eat a lot of eggs. I love eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. I'm going to be spending a lot of money on eggs now. I mean, we've been buying eggs a little bit because, you know, we've lost our chickens and they were very old anyway. They were getting up there, but I still was able to get some. Yeah, ravens are incredible. We have a trio of ravens out here. They're always hanging out in the side of my house here. I get them on the cameras all the time. And I don't know why. I don't know what's in the side hill. They just love it. I mean, like I have bird feeders up closer to the house, but I've never seen them up by the bird feeders. I see them out in the yard. So I don't know. I don't know what's out there, but they're there every day. Oh, Peanut the squirrel. Yes, I do follow Peanut the squirrel. At first, I thought Peanut the squirrel was like a scam account because they just kept posting the same 3 or 4 videos over and over and over. But yes, I do follow Peanut the squirrel. And I follow another guy who has like a bunch of squirrel friends and he built them this big fancy house. Ravens are incredible. Ravens are incredible. Like, I want to become friends with my ravens. I'm sure if I really took the time and sat out there with food, I think that's what most of these people do with these wild birds is they must sit outside their house and eventually the bird will come to them. That's got to be it because, I mean, you're not going to just tell me that one day a raven just decided, oh, hey, I'm going to become friends with these humans. I'm sure you got to work at it. My uncle has had pet squirrels over the years. My uncle is one of those people that animals just love him. They just love him. He always has dogs and well, he's passed away now, but he always had dogs and cats. He is just my dad was like that too. Animals were just attracted to my dad and his brother. I don't know what it was. Something about them, but yeah, my uncle had squirrels. Yes, I remember seeing something about the shiny things, that they like the shiny things, and corn. Like they really like corn, crack corn from the feed store, which I could do that. I guess I could do that. Like I'll just talk to them. I'll just go out there and hang out and just talk to them and maybe they'll become my friends. They're big. Like ravens are very big, especially when you look at them compared to a crow. Very big. Very big birds. But yes, the shiny trinkets. I don't know. There was a long time ago. There was this article that was floating around. The little girl who had raven friends, and they would bring in the ravens would bring her shiny goodies. Hello, Beth. Welcome. We're talking about all the animals we want to become friends with, and all the animals that we are friends with on Instagram and YouTube. But yeah, this little girl, man, she had a whole case of little shiny trinkets that the ravens brought her for feeding them, which I just thought was adorable. I was like, man, I want to become friends with these birds. Although I have a bird, and I can't even become friends with him. So I don't know, maybe it's not going to work out. Oh, then the cat food. I get that. We're covered there then. I can give them the cat food. And I'll put it over where they hang out over here on the side hill. Leave them some cat food. Well, when I had the chickens, we used to put scraps out, our vegetables and whatever. And for a long time, we used to give them cracked corn. We haven't bought any in a long time because the pandemic has made the price of grain for some reason skyrocket. So we hadn't bought cracked corn in a while. But whenever we put the veggies out, the the ravens would scare my chickens so that they could eat whatever scraps we put out, which was funny. It was hilarious. And it's hard too. We're not gonna have chickens this year, so when we get things in the garden that are like, bug holes or a little rotten or something, I can't even give them to the chickens anymore like we used to do. I made the mistake of planting a garden with chickens when we first got our chickens without a fence. My chickens went through my garden and just took one bite out of all the things that were growing. One bite. So don't let anyone kid you. Chickens are assholes. Okay? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If they have the chance, they're going to be assholes. But I miss my assholes. They were fun. We had fun with the chickens. Yeah, ducks. I would love ducks too. The only thing I don't like about ducks is that they smell. I could put ducks in with the chickens though. I'd have to get a pool, get them a kiddie pool. The chickens, man, they eat a lot of bugs. Incredible the amount of bugs those things ate. There'd be little holes in my yard all over the place where they're digging up bugs. And they were like little excavators too. The things they used to dig up in my yard. I mean, unbelievable. Let's see, what do I want to do? Yes, they will eat all the seeds too. Yes, they will. Yes. See? They can be jerks, chickens. They look at you, they say, you can't get this. You're not going to eat any of this. I'm going to eat it. They're fun, though. I had fun. My chickens were fun. I think when we get other chickens, like the next time, we're going to handle them much more so that they'll be more likely to come up to you. Our chickens now, the ones that we, you know, have lost, they weren't friendly. Like we didn't really handle them when they were little. They'd come up to you and stuff, but you couldn't pet them or hold them or anything. Yes, they clean up a lot of bugs. They clean up a lot of bugs, including like my grapevines. Granted, they would eat my grapes too, so I used to have to put my grapevines. We had two runners of grapes, and we had to get rid of the lower runner because the chickens ate all the grapes. But, um, yes, uh, I would take the grape leaves when the chickens were out front, and I would shake them so that all the bugs would come flying off the leaves, and the chickens would just be catching them all in the air. I loved it. I was like, yeah, get all them beetles. But not this year. Won't be happening this year. Yeah, we did have a couple chickens that would get up on your lap. We had a couple chickens that would come up and eat out of your hands, you know. These chickens that I had, they like to poop on my porch, and they like to eat all the cat food out of the cat feeder. So I had to start putting the cat feeder up high so that they couldn't do that. This is a very relaxing activity. If you have paper clips or bulb pins or safety pins even, This is a very relaxing activity. Just little tiny dangly charms. This is very enjoyable. I am having a very nice relaxing time before I have to go cook my dinner. I am going to really push, though, my husband for us to get the chicken coop fixed up because I don't want to be with chickens for very long. And the farm store had chickens on sale, had baby chicks on sale. And they had them on sale because they were a little bit older, which meant they were a couple of weeks old instead of newborn chickens, which I'm fine, I don't care. But they were only $2 a piece, which is like the cheapest I've seen. They're usually $4 or $5 a piece. So if I can get back to the store when they get some sale chickens, I'm going to try because like we have a box. We already have a brooder box that we brooded, you know, this batch of chickens in that we had. But I loved my chickens. You know, it's hard too because like I go out to the garden and I don't hear the chicken coop is next, you know, behind my garden and I can't, they're not out there. I don't hear their little noises, you know. It's sad. They really become a part of your family. The next batch, we're going to handle them much more so that they become our homies, our homie chickens. But I'm sure they'll still be jerks if I gave them the opportunity to eat my garden. I'm sure they would still jump at that opportunity to take one bite out of every vegetable in my garden. And most birds are like that. Never underestimate the jerkness of a bird. Birds are jerks. Oh, when I got my chicks, I thought they were dead all the time. I'm like picking them up all the time. Like, are you breathing or are you sleeping? Oh, okay, you're still alive. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they'd be under that heat lamp and I'm like, this one's dead for sure. That's a dead chicken. Oh my God, this little chicken is dead. I mean, I think we lost a few. I think we lost a few. We incubated our own eggs at one point without an incubator, which was, you know, really hard because a lot of the chickens, they didn't hatch or they didn't come out right. But we had a bunch, you know, we had a bunch from that batch. So we incubated the eggs. We weren't going to incubate the eggs. We had one chicken that went broody. Have fun, Beth. Thanks for stopping in. We had one chicken that went broody. She was sitting on a clutch of eggs. And then the next day, she was sitting on a different clutch of eggs. I'm like, oh, so she had already had these ones under her for however many days. I said, well, we can't eat them and we can't just let them die. We got to do something. So we did. We brooded the eggs. We made a makeshift incubator, rather. We made a makeshift incubator and did what we could to incubate the eggs. And like I said, some of them came out, some of them didn't. But that was a cool thing for the girls too. So we brooded those birds. I think that most of the chickens, I think the 2 chickens that I just lost came from that batch. The hard part is that when you do that, when you do straight run chickens, most of them end up being roosters, which is fine unless you're a normal person and you don't want birds just fighting all the time and fighting you all the time and, you know, dominance, the pecking order. They're trying to be the top dog, and they just fight all the time. And then they become aggressive if you have too many roosters and not enough hens. Oh, my phone died with my chat, so you have to hold on one second to get my chat back up. And my other charger here. I got chargers everywhere. Let me see where I am. All right, plug this one in so I can pull my chat back up. Come on. Hold on, gals. I lost my chat. I love these cheap star beads from the Dollar Tree that I bought 100 years ago. I don't like how that looks though. Maybe we'll do this little coney one. And do the star. I don't like how that looks. We'll do the little square. See, maybe I should call it quits because I'm getting too picky now. I don't like how that looks. I need another color. I'll do the green circle. And I don't think I have another square for the top. Oh yes, we had a rooster that would crow outside of our window too. Every morning, 7 o'clock, he'd be out there. But we had to start keeping our chickens in at night because of fox, you know, the fox in the area. But then in recent weeks, the fox has still been able to get in, was able to get in. Something, I don't know if it was a fox, something was able to get into the chicken coop, and it killed one chicken about a month ago, and I said, oh, it must have been a fluke thing. At first I thought it was attacked by one of the other chickens, but then the other day we went in and it was like a massacre. That's what I said last night. I said, do you think it could have been weasels? Because I mean, I understand my chickens are big, but it might have been more than one weasel. The space to get through is very small, and the fox that I see roaming around my yard in the cameras is very big. He's a big boy. So I don't think I don't think it was a fox. I think it could have been a weasel. Someone else told me that raccoons would do that, and I have seen a raccoon a couple times on a camera that we haven't trapped. We trapped a bunch of raccoons. They are very, very destructive animals, and we have trapped a few raccoons, but we have one that we have not trapped yet, so it could be a raccoon. You want to hear a story about rats, Kim? My husband's grandfather was a farmer, and he had horses, and he had pigs, and he had, a good bunch of animals, I guess. And one night he went into his barn because the horses were making noise, and the rats were attacking the horses, and then the rats ended up attacking him, and he died from getting eaten by rats. What an awful frickin' way to go. Holy crap. Getting eaten by rats. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you get enough of those rats together, they get pretty violent and they're pretty dangerous. Yeah, nasty little things. I haven't seen rats out there, and I think I would have, but I will be more apt to think it was probably a raccoon, if it's a big enough raccoon, because like I said, we had those birds were big. They were big chickens. Or weasels, because it was a massacre. Whatever it was, those chickens fought for their frickin' life. You should have seen the feathers and stuff in there. They fought. So, and it was during the day because we were gone. And when we came back to that. That morning, the chickens were just fine in that coop. We have skunks. We trapped a skunk the other day. We let him go. We we don't really do anything to the skunks because they're not as destructive. And you're right, they eat rats, and a lot of times they go after the bad snakes and stuff. So we don't do anything to the skunks because if they come up to the cat feeders, they'll eat the cat food out of the dish, but they don't try and break open the bucket like raccoons. They don't try and smash things that, I have one of those automatic feeders, which has survived like some severe raccoon hatred. They pick up the bucket from the feeder and they smash it and they try and break it open. Um, I heard that yes, I heard weasels will eat the heads off. I did hear that. But I mean, our one hen, she was butchered. She was completely ripped to shreds. And we do have a few spots that a fox could have gotten through if it was a smaller fox than what I've been seeing on my camera. The one I see on my camera is pretty big. But if it was a smaller fox, which isn't impossible, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. So it's very possible that there's other fox that are, making their rounds. But this bird was totally annihilated. And then the rooster was like, his neck, he was still alive, but his neck was broke. And man, I'll tell you what, that bird didn't want to die. Man, I never seen something so stubborn in my life. My husband tried to put him out of his misery and he wouldn't die. So he had a broken neck and a bullet hole and he still didn't die. Yeah, I'd be more apt to think it was probably a fox or a raccoon if it was a smaller fox. The heads, I mean, he still had his head. His neck was broke, but he still had his head. You know? I just don't want it to happen again. So we're going to button up like every little freaking hole in that building and in that fence. And I just can't. That was sad. I can't have that happen again. That was awful. And that was awful for my kids, to see that and to it's just bad. My kids are the ones who found them because they went to bring scraps out for the birds and let them out like we do regularly. And to see that, oh, no, that's not good for a kid. But gals, I am going to get going so that I can try and find some meatballs for dinner so that I don't have to listen to my husband cry about no meatballs. If not, I might have to make some stinking meatballs. So I want to thank you all so much for hanging out. This was awesome. You girls are great. I love spending time with you, whether it's in this chat or in anyone else's chat. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out with my bees. Look at all these. We made this whole big, look at them all in there. So these are going to be awesome for all kinds of things. I might make a few just wires and not put them on eye pins so I could put them on some paper clips too. And then these will be, I've got a lot of projects I can use these for. And I'm not going to put this with my bead dangle stuff. I'm going to put it in my drawer with like my paper clips and stuff so I can grab them, But yeah, this was a great time, ladies. Thank you so much. And I'm going to try and come live a little bit more this summer too. Especially once my building gets done. I'm going to really try and get on a schedule. So I will see you all around. Ta-ta.